Hello and welcome to this Android Adventure tutorial brought to you by Northbutter Software. My name is Gary, and in this series of tutorials we're looking at working with Google Maps. What I'm going to do is start a new project, and I'll be compiling against API level 24, and I'm running Android Studio version 2.13. So first of all I want to create a new project, and I'll give it a name. Minimum SDK going to compile against is Android version 5, which is great. I'll be testing on devices with Marshmallow or API level 23. I wanted to do that because I want to show you how to handle runtime permissions as well as part of this tutorial set. So what we're going to do now is select an activity. I'm just going to have a predefined Google Maps activity for this particular project. It's going to put all the base code in place for us and makes our life a lot easier. So I'm just going to finish this off and let the project build. Okay, so we finished the Gradle build now. We've got the basics of the project in place. So I'm just going to open up the Android manifest file as well, and you can see that it's actually put the permissions in place. All we need for basic testing is the find location. You may want to put other permissions in there, internet access and things like that as well. But let's have a look at the main activity. You'll see here it's actually put quite a lot of code in place. You'll see there's really just one callback method here. It's just implementing the onMap ready callback, and it's just going to place the default marker in at Sydney, just to make sure that when the map is ready we'll just get that location in place. You'll see some other tutorials out on the internet which have a private method called setup map if needed. We don't actually need that. Most of the code associated when you drill into those tutorials, it's really focused around this fragment here. So there's no reason why we can't just go ahead with the code, default code as generated by Android Studio, and that's what we'll be doing here. So okay, it's just created an object of Google Maps called mmap. It's going to be set up a fragment in the layout, which should be the map itself, and when it's ready it's just going to put a marker in there. I want to draw your attention though to this particular file here. So what we need to do is generate an API key. Now this is a debug key. We need to generate a new key for when we release the app itself. This effectively just gives us permission to use the map itself. There are enhanced keys you can purchase, but this will be a basic free key. So what we need to do, we need to just copy this URL, copy everything there. Okay, and just open up a browser. You'll need to be logged into your Google account to actually finish generating the key. So I'm just going to paste the URL in. So what I'm going to do is just going to create a new project here. So I'm just going to basically just follow this wizard to generate the key. Okay, so the API is enabled. I need to just go and get the credentials now. Okay, so what I'm going to do, just to leave all this the same, I can rename it so I've got some reference to it later on. This is the package name which we generated in the project, and I'm just going to create the key. And what I'm going to do is just copy this particular key. That's the information I need. I'm going to go back to the project, and where it says in this string here, your key here, we're just going to paste that in there. And that's really our basic setup done. We can actually run this now, and if we run it, we'll just end up with a basic map. Let's just have a look at the layout itself as we've got it. Okay, so I always have rendering problems myself. So let's just go to the text. And you can see the layout just comprises a single fragment here, which will be the map itself. So we've run that now. Worth doing for yourself. You'll just see that the map is just there for you to use. What I'm going to do, I'm going to create a layout really as a framework for the rest of the project. I'm going to create a relative layout around this fragment, and in that layout I'm just going to put a search bar at the top. It'd just be a text field with a go button, so we can do some geolocation. There'll be three more buttons really. One would be to change to a satellite view, one would be to mark a position or place a marker, and one to clear the fields themselves. We'll have a location layer enabled later on, so we can go and search for our current location as well. So what I'm going to do now is just get on and type the layout in, and then we'll just review the work that we've actually done. Okay, so the layout has been finished now. So just let me review what I've actually done here. I've taken the original fragment. I've moved the XML namespace declaration to the top here. I've wrapped the whole thing with a relative layout, and I've embedded a linear layout at the top of the layout itself. Inside that there's an edit text and a button. The edit text will operate 4/5 of the screen, the button 1/5. That'll be a little search bar for when we do the geolocation. And there's just really three buttons here. One to add a marker, there'll be a button to change from normal to a satellite view, and a button to clear any markers or anything else we've added to the map itself. I've also added a zoom control because it'd be desirable to zoom in and out the map. And that's really the layout itself. So all we need to do now is actually physically test the app itself and just see what we've got. Okay, so I've got the test uploaded on the emulator now, and what I'll do is just give it a quick run. So you can see the layout in place. We've got the zoom controls, the buttons, and the search bar at the top here. And this is the map fragment. If we had nothing else in the layout and just the fragment as it was generated by Android Studio in the first place, then all you'll see is this map on the screen. So essentially that's working. That's all I wanted to do for this tutorial. In the next part we'll look at the My Location layer and add some runtime permissions for that. So catch you in the next one. Bye for now. Remember to like, share and subscribe if you found this tutorial set useful, and all the source code and project files are available for download from our website. Thank you.